It's more confusing than Inception, harder than an erection. It's cooler than Andre 3000. Oh, let's get ready for Sweet Connection.
Hello and welcome to Sweet Connection. Can you stop laughing, Charlie? I mean...
Sorry, I'm silent now.
I appreciate you expressing your joy. Can you not do it while I'm doing the intro?
Of course, I apologise.
I'm leaving this bit in as well.
I thought that you would.
Hello and welcome to Sweet Connection. I literally forgot who the fuck I was then and what I was doing. Hello and welcome to Sweet Connection. I'm your host, Catters. With me today, it's not Jason. If you thought Jason was here, you're an idiot.
You fucking schmuck.
It's someone better than Jason. It's Charlie. From Why Did I Do That? Charlie, how are you doing, mate?
Hello. I would say that I'm not nearly as good as Jason, but thank you for the confidence booster. I will be in a hot sweat trying to keep up with his hilariousness throughout this episode.
I wouldn't say he's hilarious. I'd say he's incredibly irritating.
Okay, well, I'll try and be annoying then.
That's fine. Just going to start with a few updates on the show. A few weeks ago, we hit 2,000 downloads. We went a little bit viral the past week or so now we're on 5,000 downloads.
How? Please tell me. I need this shit.
Our videos on Facebook went like a tiny little bit viral. So I think one video had like 2,500 views in a day. Like tiny viral. So that's obviously kind of contributed to it. So yeah, that was nice. I am going to say that I am fucking knackered. I am tired. I am battered. And I'm bruised. Would you like to know why?
No.
Okay.
No.
And that's our show, everyone. I played rugby for the first time yesterday. You know how we were talking on your show about how I'm starting it?
Yeah, I remember. How did it go? Did you win?
No, we lost quite considerably.
The only position I know in rugby is the guy who kicks the ball, and I don't know the proper name for it.
Scrum half. I thought you were going to actually say the name of the actual position rather than just say, it's just a guy who kicks it.
No, I remember Johnny Wilkinson in the 2003 World Cup, and that is my rugby knowledge. Anything other than that, I have no clue about.
I am only slightly more knowledgeable than you on this because I have been reading up on it the past week, desperately trying to make sure that I kind of know what I'm on about. Yeah, I was in the front row of the scrum. I had about 7 men grab my testicles.
Oh, nice. Was that like during the match or just in the changing rooms?
No, because in the scrum, right? If you're front row, you have some guy's head like in between you and the guy standing next to you, and he literally puts his hand through your leg, and then you have to like sort of give him some of your shorts to grab, and then he grabs that in his hand, and then when everyone's pushing, he'll sort of like pulling down my shorts. He also grabbed my pants as well, so I'm pretty sure that some of my junk was out for some of those scrums.
Poor whoever was behind you.
It's like a psychological advantage, though. You know,
yeah.
if I'm pushing in a scrum and I see a flash of testicle, that is, I am no longer thinking about the gaps. I'm just thinking about the flash of testicle I got.
You're thinking about a different kind of ball.
Exactly. That's the sort of joke Jason would have never made.
Yes. Fuck you, Jason.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I only get one fuck you, don't I?
You officially get the power. So if you want to use your one go fuck yourself on Jason, then say, Jason, go fuck yourself. Or you can save it for later on in the show.
Okay, I'm going to save it, but I might use it on Jason.
I think that would be quite poetic to use his own thing against him.
Poetic justice because you go on holiday. How dare you enjoy your time and spend the money you earn, you prick.
How dare you go to Centre Parks with your lovely wife and newborn child? Have you been to Centre Parks before?
No, I haven't, but there's one relatively near me in Longley. We would have been close in spirit if he went to that one, but he didn't, so this story has no matterness. That's not a word. I have just always had this thought if I'm in a Centre Park, because it's all in like a sort of wooded area. Yeah. I've always thought, I'd love to be a serial killer and just go house to house. Or like a sort of like Jason Voorhees style. Yeah, I get what you mean, yeah. Get the urge, like, this would be a great place. I mean, like, that would be very famous as well. If you just went on a rampage at Centre Parks with an axe and just killed, like, 20 people. People are never going to forget that. But would it be better to do it at a Centre Parks or a Butlins? I think if you're at Butlins, you would probably welcome death's sweet embrace, wouldn't you? One of my friends used to work at Butlins as a redcoat, and he loved it. He was well into it. And now he works at Disneyland as a character in Paris. Who does he play? I think he plays Woody, but I'm not 100% sure because he's tall, so he was too tall to be Peter Pan. I remember that because he wanted to be Peter Pan. And he was very disappointed that he couldn't be Peter Pan.
Oh no!
But I'm fairly sure that he's a Woody. But you do like a bunch of stuff. I think. I don't think he just spends all day every day as Woody.
I think all of those toys in Toy Story have probably seen Andy masturbate throughout his teenage years quite a lot.
Oh, definitely. That's the bit that they don't show you in the films.
Hopefully, in the new Toy Story film, there'll just be an extended montage of all the times Andy is just,
Oh, nice. Andy's mum as well.
She would get it, wouldn't she? She'd get it. So, for some reason, you know how sometimes you and your friends just have this really silly in-joke?
Well, I don't have any friends, but sure.
Okay. If you did, then you would imagine, and one of our recurring jokes was how many men could have sex with Andy's mum at once. And I think we came up with 12, because it was like, obviously 3 in all of the 3 obvious holes. And then it was like, arm.
Knee.
Yeah, knee, armpit.
Elbow crease.
And we think she could probably get 1 between her feet.
Or curling your toes round and get 2.
And I think that we somehow got to this magical number of 12. I'm going to write this down, alright? I think hopefully we can beat 12. I used to have a fucking pen round here. I cannot for the life of me find a pen. Hold on, I'm just going to pause the show very briefly while I get...
When you need a pen to write down how many people can have sex with Andy's mum, which happens all the time, you can never find one. When you don't need a pen, they're always there. If it makes you feel better, I've got 2 pens near me at the moment.
So we're saying hand, so that's 2.
The 3 obvious holes, which we don't need to mention. The unmentionables.
So now we're on 5. So then we go elbow crease.
Armpit.
Okay, armpit. Then we go knee and knee.
Knee crease. Yeah, how many is that at the moment?
That's 11 already. The feet as well. Are we going to say that? Because I do think that trying to stroke 2 penises with the feet is quite a tall order. And obviously she could be very, very busy at this particular time.
She's got a lot going on.
Exactly, yeah. So I think maybe we should just say conservatively she'll only be able to wank off 1 man.
Yes.
Both of her 2 feet, okay? Conservative, right. So that's 12 there. Then you also have to think about if they could then double up in any of the holes. There's probably room for more there, I think.
I think if you shuffled the men around, you could probably get 2 in the mouth.
Okay, so...
If you make sure you pick, like, the smallest ones, I reckon you could probably get 2 in there.
I agree. So, that is 13 already. So, we're officially saying Andy's mum could pleasure 13 men at once.
Yes.
Brilliant. I did not think that I would be talking about that today.
Neither did I. To be honest, when you asked me to come on this, I did not think that we'd be talking about how many people could have sex with Andy's mum. But I'm glad it happened.
What were we talking about before we started doing that? Rugby, yeah.
Rugby, yeah. That logical step.
We went to rugby, then Centre Parks, then...
Toy Story, and then Andy's mum having an orgy.
Is it an orgy? Because if it's 1 woman and lots of men, is it an orgy? Or is that a gangbang?
I don't know. I've never partook in either, to be honest, so I'm not 100% sure on the subtle nuances between the 2.
I think that a gangbang is lots of men and 1 woman.
Is it? Okay, but in that case, talking about Andy's mum's gangbang.
That's a good name for a podcast.
Have you ever watched the show Naked Attraction?
It's mental, isn't it?
I love that show, it's so good. I've watched that show with my dad before, that's weird.
Ah, right. Now, was it men being shown or was it women being shown?
I don't remember. I think it was both. I think it was a half-an-hour episode, and each round takes about 15 minutes. So I think they did 1 man and 1 woman.
It's a very strange show, and also under like studio lighting with high definition cameras.
The first time I watched it, because of the studio it's set out in, I thought it had like a live studio audience.
I always thought that as well.
No, it's just empty. I was like, why have you got an audience for this? Just for 5 naked people in a box, and then 1 other person being like, your ballsack's a bit too hairy. That's
a deal breaker. That's an absolute deal breaker.
Which if it is, you're fickle. You can shave. Come on. Give him a chance.
If everything else about him is perfect, and you are still not going to go for him because of his incredibly fluffy ballsack, then I think you're the problem.
You need to look at yourself.
Yeah. Why don't you just shave his ballsack then? Done.
Yeah, you can make it like a foreplay thing.
You could put that in the show.
Oh yeah, it's the extra round where they pick their least favourite thing about that person's body and then change it themselves. Just like, I don't like your nose, I'm just gonna chop it off.
You've got too many moles. He just cuts out people's moles. Ugh, God damn. All right, Charlie. Brexit. Yesterday or Friday, at time of recording, was meant to be Brexit Day.
It did. It didn't happen. No, they had to push back those 50p coins they were making. Did you hear about that?
No.
They made 50p. My girlfriend's still brother told me this. I hadn't heard of this, but apparently they've made loads of 50p coins that had like the Brexit date on them, and they've had to like scrap them all because the date's wrong. God,
I bet the mint is pissed off by that, isn't it?
What did you think about? I'm not glad that we're talking about Brexit, but you know, I thought it would probably come up. So what do you think about the whole thing?
I think that it's quite a British attitude. Basically, we have had this one deadline for the past 2 years. We've done nothing for a year and a half, and then we've tried to blitz it right at the end, and then we've had to push it back. It's like someone at school trying to write an essay.
Yeah, we've gone to our teacher and been like, look, can you give me like another week? Please, like, things happened, you know, there was an Olympics, there was a World Cup, you know, it was coming home, we didn't have time.
But it didn't come home, did it?
No.
I think that's a good little like metaphor for our entire country and our attitude towards deadlines. I think that there'll probably end up being a no deal because.
Do you still think it will happen? Do you think that we will Brexit?
I think that we have to, because if not, there's going to probably be riots. So I think that we will Brexit. I think that we will leave with a no deal on the 12th of April. That's what I think. You heard it here first.
I fucking hate people. Not you, just like people in general. Like, why are we in this fucking mess?
Because of politicians. Because of Nigel Farage and Boris and Michael Gove.
Oh no, Boris Johnson's the worst one, right? Okay, my friend studies politics at uni, or she did, so she's more in the know about this stuff than I am. But she was telling me that he campaigned for leave, but he actually wanted to remain. But he was doing it to like further his career, and he'd written a speech for when we didn't leave the EU to be like, oh, I'm sorry, like, oh, we did our best, da 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 da, to try and get all the people who wanted to vote leave to come to like vote for him so he could be prime minister. And there's video of him at the press conference where they announced that we're leaving, and you can literally see his face drop. It's hilarious.
Oh shit.
Yeah, literally just like, what the fuck have I done?
That actually sort of reminds me, because when Donald Trump won, it was sort of the same thing. He apparently didn't want to win. He said he was literally using that whole campaign as just a big advert for himself.
For The Apprentice. They were like, look, season 18 viewership was down, but you need to do something big. And he's like, I'll be president.
If you see his face when he finds out he is actually president and that he's got to do all of this work, he looks really, really grumpy. He looks like a toddler who has just been told off by their parents. You know, that frowny face.
Yeah.
Yeah, Boris Johnson. So, like, he can go fuck himself, mate.
Yeah, they all can. Nigel Farage especially. Get out of here.
Would you like to use your go fuck yourself on Nigel Farage?
Oh, I'm just thinking, is Jason worse than Nigel Farage? It's a tough one.
Suppose Nigel Farage hasn't fallen down my stairs whilst drunk. So, in a way, Nigel Farage is better.
Nigel Farage didn't ditch his podcast, so, you know.
Suppose Nigel Farage didn't get really, really drunk in my house, and then I had to literally carry him home.
I don't know enough about Jason to continue this joke.
Let's just say it's pretty close, okay?
Would you like to hear the story about how I got free popcorn this week?
Yes, go on.
Okay, this is a story about kids out there, if you're listening. First of all, your parents are awful. They shouldn't let you be listening to this shit.
No, absolutely not. Please ignore all that thing about Andy's mum, alright? Carry on.
This is a story about how laziness can get you wonderful, wonderful things. So I have a Cineworld Unlimited card. I don't know if you know what that is.
I do indeed.
Yes. So this week at the one near me, there was an unlimited screening of Shazam.
Was it any good? Sorry.
I didn't. Well, this is part of the story. It got to the day, and I was like, you know what? I'm really tired. I can't be asked to go. I'm just going to leave it. I didn't pay for the ticket. Who cares? It's fine. But my mum also has a card, and she was going. So then she left, and she came back like an hour later. And I was like, that was quick. What happened? And she was like, oh, well, the screen broke. So I sat there for like half an hour, and then they were just like, oh, it's going to be like another at least like 15 minutes, half an hour. So she was just like, oh, fuck this. I'm going. I can't bother to sit here for any longer. So then I got an email the next day that was like, due to the technical difficulties last night, please accept this free drink and free popcorn on us. So I'm like, boom, didn't even have to leave the house. Free food and drink next time I go. So if you ever want to back out of an engagement, just remember, only good things can happen.
And that's like cinema prices as well. So the cost of a large drink and a
well, it's a medium, you know.
Medium. Slightly less impressive now, isn't it? Yeah. But the cost of a medium drink and a bag of popcorn is probably going to like set you back about £48.
It's actually £48 and the soul of your firstborn child. I used to work there, so I know the background dealings.
We can do a Cat's Comment Corner, Charlie.
Oh, okay, yes. I love it.
I'm just going to pause while I edit the theme tune. Just so you know, every time I say, shall we pause to edit in the theme tune, Jason uses that as an excuse to basically talk over it and ruin it.
Oh, okay.
So, it's up to you whether you want to talk over it or actually pause. So I'm going to pause while I edit in the theme tune.
Hey, I'm not going to talk over it because I'm not Jason. Go fuck yourself, Jason.
Sweet connection telling you to go and fuck yourself.
There we go. So now I've got to edit in the Cat's Comment Corner theme tune and the Go Fuck Yourself theme tune into that. Brilliant.
90 degrees, that's a corner. That's a corner. Your enemy. That's a corner. Cat's Comment Corner. That's the real corner.
Anyway, let's fucking do this. Jesus. On Facebook, right, I saw a video of a very, very large woman bodybuilder.
Okay.
And you know how, basically, if a woman tries to get really, really muscly, she will look a certain way, right? She will look like a woman still, right? Literally looks like someone's just transplanted a woman's head onto a male bodybuilder.
She sounds like my dream woman.
And I knew that there'd be some juicy comments underneath this. I'm going to read out a few of these. Shane says, 1 kick in the balls and she's down. Josh says, wasn't the easiest wank I've had, but I got there.
I'm proud of you, Josh. Good job.
You really took one for the team there. Scott says, he's a fine-looking woman.
Yes.
Tom says, I really like this one, I wouldn't know whether to wear a condom or a gum shield.
Both. From personal experience, both.
Andy says, Jesus Christ, her Adam's apple is nearly bigger than her bollocks. Oh, bloody hell. Gary says, I bet her clit's like a cow udder.
Also, it doesn't make biological sense. I'm pretty sure you can't work out that part of your body in a way to make it bigger.
You can stretch it, though.
Yes, but that wouldn't help you be a weightlifter. So, what was that guy's name?
Gary.
Come on, Gary, do some fucking research.
Had you not used You'll Go Fuck Yourself on Jason?
I would have used it. I feel Gary was more deserving.
So is he worse than Farage as well, Gary?
Oh, Gary's definitely worse than Farage. Yeah.
Is he worse than Farage and Jason? Because Farage and Jason, we said, are pretty much nose to nose.
Gary is the worst out. Gary is the worst of all the human race.
Shall we just start a campaign and just ruin Gary's life? Because I've got his full name here, so we could very easily track him down and just get every listener to send him an email.
This is when it turns out to be my dad. I'm like, oh no.
That's when it turns out to be you. And he's just like, wait a second, I'm not Charlie, I'm Gary.
Yeah. Oh, that's my fake account I use. Oh no.
It's like the ending of an M. Night Shyamalan film, where it turns out we're the Gary.
I was Gary all along.
I've never seen Charlie and Gary in the same room before.
It's because I hate him.
We're just going to finish off. James says, fucking hell, you wouldn't want to leave the toilet seat up, would you? No.
And you know what? That woman would probably fucking kill all of them. So who gets the last laugh, really?
I'd say every man there is probably feeling a little bit emasculated by the size of that woman. I think we're going to leave it there, mate. So I'd like to say thank you very much for filling Jason's shoes today.
That's okay. I'm glad that I could tell him to go fuck himself.
He'll be listening to this in Centre Park.
On loudspeaker with his wife, his newborn child.
Maybe in the bar or restaurant, and then the entire bar will start laughing at him.
I just said, Jason, no hard feelings. I just thought it would be funny. You seem like a nice guy.
I'm going to edit that bit out.
Yeah, please do.
So it just looks like you've just been shitting on Jason this whole episode. So, thank you very much, mate. Would you like to plug your lovely podcast?
Oh, yes. I do a podcast called Why Did I Do That? Which is a show where I get a guest on to come and share an embarrassing story about themselves because I'm a prick. Jason, this is why I hate Jason. Jason was supposed to be on it, then he had to see his bloody mother-in-law. Like, come on, grow up. But Catters has been on it. He talked about a time when he had to sneak through. Did you see the title of the episode? I was very proud of it. It was
title. That's very good.
The title is Mission Impossible, which is very clever if you know the story. But it's on iTunes, so check it out if you want to. If you enjoy this winning combination of voices,
it's a very, very good show. It's certainly better than this show.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I would fully recommend. Thank you all for listening. Thank you, Charlie.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Not a problem. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So, Jason, where can you get more Sweet Connection in your life?
Well, Ben, we are on Facebook at Sweet Connection Podcast, and we're also on Twitter at SweetC_podcast, so you can give us a like or a follow.
And you can also find us on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube and Podbean, so if you enjoyed the show, you can give us a rating or a review or recommend to a friend.
And if you wanted to email in a topic or a question, or just say hi, it's thesweetconnection@outlook.com.
Massive thanks to CIPP and Carlyle Laurent for all of our jingles. Thank you for listening and catch you next time.
Sweet connection.